Hi everybody, this is Oksana, and in this video I'm actually going to make some earrings, some cabochon earrings, which is something I've never done in a video before. I've made some bead earrings, and the reason I haven't done this is because it's the same thing as making two pendants. Like if you look at the bail on this, this is basically a pendant. So if you like the look of this and just want to make a pendant, then just make one of them and it'll be a pendant. But any of my videos where I make any of my pendant tutorial videos, you can just make two pendants and attach earring hooks and they'll be earrings. So that's why I haven't made a video before, because you can just make earrings out of any pendant that you want. But I thought that it'd be nice just to see me at least once actually do it, you know, and talk about the earring hooks and attaching the earring hooks. And I'm also going to show you how to make your own earring hook. If you want. These stainless steel ones I purchased pre-made, but I'm going to show you how to use, you know, copper wire to make an earring hook if you prefer that, or you can make it out of, you know, sterling silver wire, whatever you want. So yeah, that's it. If you want to see how I made these, just keep watching. So for our base wires, I'm using 21 gauge. Since our earrings are small, I'm using a thinner gauge, so 21. You can use 20 and, you know, make slightly bigger earrings. That's fine too. I just have tiny little stones. And I have 6 wires here, about 8 inches long. So the reason you need 6 is because you're going to do 3 and 3. So I'm going to make one earring and then the other earring is literally just the same exact thing. So I'm gonna make the second earring just off camera, but you can just rewind and follow the same instructions to make the same thing twice. And what I'm gonna do is find the middle of my 3 wires, and then I'm gonna take some 24 gauge half round wire. You can use 22 as well if you want. And I'm going to just leave that on the spool and wrap around all 3 wires with just kind of the tail end of this wire. So I usually don't count the little wraps when I make pendants. I just do like a random amount. But since this is an earring and we want them to be identical, let's actually count them. So we make the same thing twice. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll do 6 of these little wraps. That way, both of our earrings are identical. So now I'm just trimming off the little wire ends, and now you just want to press down those wire ends with your pliers so that they're both on the same side, and that's going to be the inside of your pendant. So we're going to put the inside kind of upwards like this, and then we're going to bend because we're trying to make it a little bit rounded so that we can shape it around our stone. So my stone, I have 2 little stones. It's the trickiest thing about earrings is finding stones that look similar. There are these 2 little ovals that I have. So this is one of them. It is, let me measure it for you. Oh, it's so close to 10 millimeters, but it's like 9 millimeters, just a little bit smaller. It's a little peach moonstone, but it's got some sparkles in it, as you can see. So if I put the stone inside of the frame and I bend it like this, and then here where the wires at the top meet up, just putting a bend in them like this to have them come together nicely. And we're going to reinforce that little bend with our pliers. This is what we have. Then I'm going to take my half round wire again. I'm going to take a little end of it. I'm going to wrap it around. So let's count the wraps again. this way. If you want to make the earrings like super identical, you can. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I wrapped around 4 times. I'm just going to slide that down. I'm going to take my little wire end here from the back, and I'm going to feed it through the gap so it goes to the front. Pushing it down a little bit. Here on the front, I'm just pulling on it a little bit, and I'm just going to trim that off. So now we're just taking the front 2 wires here, and we're bending them forward. You can kind of bend the other wires out of the way if you want. And we're going to wrap around, so it's going to be our bail. So I'll count again if you want. So that is, so that's like 1 wrap that we just did. So this is going to be 2, 3, 4, 29, 30. All right, so I ended up doing 30 wraps if you wanted to know the exact number, or you can just kind of eyeball it and make both of your bails on both of your pendants just roughly the same. I mean, I don't think it matters if it's literally the exact same number of wraps, but if you want to know the number of wraps, it is 30. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the middle wires and I'm going to put one on each side like this. And then the back wires, actually, I think it might be easier to put the stone in before we do all this other stuff. So I'm just putting my stone in. And then here on the back, it's going to be hard to see because everything is so super tiny. Even if I zoom in, I'm just blocking everything with my fingers. I want to, actually maybe I can do this part quickly without the stone, but I want to push the backmost wires, just the 1 wire on each side, kind of like this, like into the frame. So when we pop our stone in, so we're just going to pop it in from the front now. There we go. So this blocks it from coming out the back. And then I'm just gonna go like that. All right, so it's blocked here. And then on the front, I like to just wedge my pliers in there and then just do a little bend. And then we're just gonna wedge our pliers into the other side there and just do a little bend. All right, so now that our stone is locked in, we're gonna get rid of these backmost wires. So I'm gonna grab them, I'm gonna put like an angle in them, and then that will allow me to push them down so that we're really close to right there. So then I can just get in here and just trim them both off. And it looks like they're not even there. All right, so now for the side wires, I'm just going to use my pliers to make them just kind of even and straight with each other, so it almost looks like one piece of wire just going across. You don't want one of these to be like higher than the other, so just like that. And now you can use a tool or you can just do it by hand. I'm just bending my bail and I'm putting the ends of it through the hole, through the gap, and then I'm helping myself with my pliers to just bend that more. And then here on the front, I'm pushing that up with my thumb. I'm pushing those up, and what I'm doing is I'm separating them So they go on each side, and they're gonna go like this and like this. So here's what that looks like. And the goal here is to just trim that off. Then, so I'm just gonna zoom in here, take that little wire end and kind of help it go all the way around like that. Here's what it looks like from the front. And so on the other side, the same thing. We're just gonna trim that so it's nice and short. And we're just gonna take our pliers and bend that closed. Here's what it looks like from the front. I'm just gonna squeeze it together. There we go. So our wires here, let me zoom back out, that are coming out the side, what I'm gonna do with them is I'm gonna bend them upwards one at a time, and I'm just gonna push on it a little bit here, and I'm just kind of bending it like this, so up and around. And then same thing with this one, I'm just bending it up. And then putting that curve. Now, as I put the curve in the second wire, so you can see my first wire underneath and the second wire is on top. Now, I want to put this second wire underneath here. So see that? It forms like this kind of twist. Okay, so now we just kind of mess around with that a little bit, trying to get it to look, you know, symmetrical, as symmetrical as we can. You can use your pliers here to try and adjust, things so that they look more or less even. All right. Alright, so once you're satisfied with the way it looks and it's looking even, then you just want to bring these to the back. They're just going to go a little bit above your stone there. So then all you do is here on the back, you're going to trim them and leave yourself a little end so that you can tuck that little end away on each side. And then we're just gonna take that and tuck it away, and we're just gonna pinch that down with our pliers on each side there, just like this. And from the front, here is what it looks like. I'm just gonna try and get those little wire ends to be a little more squished down so you can't see them as well. So here's what that looks like, and now I'm just gonna do the same thing all over again with another stone that's the same shape and size to make the second earring. Alright, so I've made my second pendant, and now we have two identical pendants that are going to be our earrings. So the next thing left to do is to make an earring hook. So I'm going to show you how to make an earring hook if you want to make it out of matching copper wire, and then I'm going to show you some pre-made earring hooks that I like to use as well, so you have both of those options. So I'm using round wire for the earring hooks, even though I use square wire for the earrings themselves, just because square wire doesn't work as well for earring hooks. So I'm using 20 gauge wire. And the little piece I cut, we are going to trim it shorter, but it is about 3 inches long. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to make the little loop that's going to attach to our earrings. So I'm just going to do this, and then you just want to select a spot on your round nose pliers, so just a tiny bit ways down. So you could just do this the same on both. So you want 2 little pieces of wire if you're going to make 2 earring hooks. I'm just going to make 1 here because then I'm going to show you another option. But if you're going to go with this option, then you're going to make 2. So you're going to make a little loop just like this. I'm just going to even it out. I know that technically we don't want this loop closed because we are going to put, you know, the earring on it. But we're just closing it for now because I think it's really helpful to hammer the earrings, so we'll open it up later. So then we're just going to put our pliers here right after the loop, and we're going to bend this wire backwards. Then we're going to put a nice curve in it like this, and then here, once it kind of curves down and goes back to this little loop, we're going to put a little curve in it again, and we're going to trim that off. All right, so this is our little earring hook, and you just want, if you're going to make 2 of these, you're just going to follow this along. As you're bending the second one, just keep putting it up next to the first one to make sure that it ends up being the same size and shape, because of course with these sorts of things it can be, you know, dramatically different if you're just bending it free form. So I'm going to go ahead and hammer this, and the way that I'm going to hammer it is I'm not going to hammer like this very tip because I don't want it to be flat. I'm going to probably start here, so I'm going to hammer kind of over here. So for hammering, what I use is an iron block and this chasing hammer. The iron block I got from Michael's years ago, and then the chasing hammer I got on eBay, and I literally just hammer. So I did that off camera because I can't do it in the air, and it's also really loud. So here is my earring hook, and the purpose of hammering is just to make it stronger because this wire is not that strong, so I didn't hammer here, so you can slide it into your ear easily. So what you want to do is get, they actually sell like a special tool that like you can put this into that'll make it not sharp, or if you have like a file, this is a special file for metal. I think I got it on eBay. It's probably not the best one. There's probably better ones out there, but yeah, you just want to use a file to make this not sharp so that, you know, when you're putting it in your actual ear, it's not too sharp. So then when it comes to actually putting this on, what you want to do, so this was easier for hammering, but we actually need this to be facing this way. So just manually turn it with your pliers. Open it up, slide your earring on the hook, and then close it up. There you have it. There's your little earring. Dangles on the earring hook. Here's the hook. And of course this can just as easily be a pendant, or you can make a matching pendant. All right, so now I'm just gonna take that off. I'm gonna show you another thing that I like to do. So the other thing I like to do is I like to use these pre-made earring hooks, and these are stainless steel, and I also got them on Rio Grande. They might have slightly different ones because this is a really long time ago that I got these, but some people's ears do better with stainless steel because copper can turn your ear green. Copper can turn your skin green, and your ear is one of those things where this is going to be, the earring hook's going to be constantly inside of your ear, touching your skin, so it'll probably turn green. So for this, they have earring hooks that are completely pre-made, or ones like this where you have to make the loop yourself, so it's up to you. So again, I'm just going to slide this up a little bit. So I have the loops that are the same, roughly the same size on both earrings. So I'm just taking this wire, and it's kind of difficult because it is stainless steel, so it's really firm. So that's why I have to use my pliers to kind of help me. I can't just bend it by hand, but here we go. Made a little loop there, and we're just gonna cut that. And we've made a loop. So now I'm just gonna open that up, put my earring on there, and just close that up. And there you have it. Now, this is the other option if you want. You can do sterling silver or stainless steel or some kind of, hyperallergenic metal. And this is our earring. All right, so now we have both of our earrings all done here with earring hooks. So that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.